this is Simon from barcode.co.uk, and this is part 2 of my tutorial on how to play Minuet in C, Op.25 by Fernando Sor. Now, in the previous tutorial, we'd got up to bar 29, which was a D dominant 7th chord. Now at bar 30 we have a rather nice sequence of descending chords, which are really quite easy to play once you just figured out what the first sequence is. So we need to start with a half bar chord at the 7th fret, covering 3 strings. So we put the second finger on the first string, 8th fret, which is a C. But now what we've got to do a grace note from the D at the 10th fret first string, pulling the finger off onto that C at the 8th fret. So that's the first string, so you play that, and then you're playing the second and the third strings together. Now that's F sharp on your second string, 7th fret, and D on the third string, 7th fret, and we play that cut twice. So that's bar 31 is that we can keep that chord on at the 7th fret, but we now do our grace note, or a quick pull off from the C, which we're actually already on, to the B, which is covered with the bar on the first string, 7th fret. And now the second finger, which has just done the slur, the pull off, crosses over onto your second string at the same fret, 8th fret, onto our G. So the second finger's on G on the second string, 8th fret, and we're playing the third and second strings again together. So that's, so bar 30 and 31 is like this. Now, once you've worked those 2 bars out, the rest of this sequence is relatively straightforward, because what we're doing, we're dropping the melodic pattern down the neck. So we're starting at our 7th position. Move the whole thing down to your 5th position and repeat the same sequence of fingers. So that's the little finger playing the 8th fret and pulling off to the 6th fret. Play the chord, you do the pull off again with the second finger, move that across onto your second string and play your second and third strings together. So that's now, I'll play it again. We do the same thing by moving our partial bar chord to the 4th fret, and we do our exactly the same, never changes. Now drop down to the 2nd fret and we do the same thing. So that sequence down is like this. As I say, once you've worked the first one out, the rest of it's quite easy. 5th fret, repeat the 4th fret, 2nd fret. One thing you have to be careful about on this sequence, and I see this quite a lot with students, is that when they're doing the grace note, they don't actually do a quick pull off. You'll hear players play it like this. That's incorrect, because in actual fact what you're doing, you're now playing it in 8th notes. So it's, you're playing it as 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3. It isn't written like that. It's So that's something you've got to be careful with on this section. So now at bar 37, we have another slur. So we're on the 4th string. We need to put your finger at the 5th fret 4th string G, and the 2nd finger on the F on the 3rd fret 4th string. Now the reason we're doing that is to prepare. We're doing a slur from the G on the on the 5th fret 4th string down to the F. Now notice when you do a slur pull on, you're pulling the little finger sideways down onto the fingerboard. Actually, so it's buffeting up against that 3rd string. Don't just lift it off. You've got to get there. And you've also got to prepare both fingers. So don't try and do a pull off and have that 2nd finger flying about in space. It just doesn't work. You've got to get both fingers down. Now, the other thing is I also put the 1st finger down on the 2nd fret 4th string. That gives a bit of extra strength in holding that string. Because another problem you have when you're doing slurs is that there's a tendency to pull the string over. So you're almost bending the string. As soon as you do that, you'll find you'll have great difficulty trying to slur the finger off. So you've got to really keep that string parallel to the fingerboard. So I use 2 fingers. The other little dodge which you can try, which helps out when you're doing these difficult slurs, is that the idea is your little fingers pulling down that way towards the floor. So what you can do to counteract that movement of trying to pull that string, you can push the other way with your 1st and 2nd fingers. So they're almost wanting to do that while your little fingers wanting to do that, and it helps to keep that string straight and parallel. So we've got the slur. Now bar 2 and 3 is a G7 chord. So we bring the 1st finger on to the 1st string, 1st fret F, and we're playing the open 4th string, the open 2nd string, and the 1st string with the finger on. So that's now giving us bar 38. Again, we have another slur. This time it's a bit easier to do. It's on the 3rd fret 4th string F, and we're doing the slur to the 4th string 2nd fret E. And again, the same principle is that you pull the finger down onto the fingerboard. And again, if you have that problem pulling your string over, try putting the 1st finger down behind the 2nd finger just to give it a bit more power, a bit more strength. And maybe, as I say, as you're pulling down with that little finger, move the fingers in the opposite direction. That helps to keep the string straight. And then that's followed by a C chord, which is your 3rd finger, 5th string, 3rd fret, and C, 1st fret, 2nd string with your 1st string open. So that now is. And now we have a D minor chord followed by a G dominant 7th chord resolving onto the tonic chord of C. For the jazz people amongst you who are watching it, that's a 2-5-1 progression. So we're starting with F. So we're barring that on the 1st fret, full bar, that gives us the F on the 6th string. It's also going to give us the F, which is the top note of the chord that's about to come up. So we play the bass note, we have the 2nd finger on the 2nd string, on the 2nd fret 3rd string A, and we put the little finger on the 2nd string 3rd fret D. So that's a 1st inversion. If you know what I mean, that's a 1st inversion of a D minor chord. And then we have our G dominant 7th chord, which is the 3rd finger on the 3rd fret 6th string, little finger on the 3rd fret 4th string. So we're playing the 6th, 4th, 3rd and 2nd strings. That's a G dominant 7th chord. So that's. You can also finger that chord if you want with the 2nd finger and your 3rd finger. It doesn't really matter. A lot of players find that's easy to do in actual fact. Try both fingerings and decide which way you like to play it. And finally, at bar 40, we end on our C chord again, which is on the inner 4 strings. And that's where I'll end this tutorial for today, and I hope this tutorial helps you in playing this minuet. Music and tabs are available from my website www.boltonguitar.co.uk. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.